But they just never won over the mass audience that they needed to win over.
We have some very, very, very important breaking news here.
Oh.
Marvel Studios veteran Victoria Alonso exits.
Oh my! Hashtag Cameron was right.
Victoria Alonso, the longtime and high-profile Marvel Studios executive whose time with the company dates back to the first Iron Man, has left the studio, multiple sources tell The Hollywood Reporter. The reason for the exit are unclear, but she parted ways with the studio Friday, sources say. So this happened Friday. Alonso had been with the company since the earliest days of Marvel Cinematic Universe, establishing an enviable. Sorry, I gotta make this bigger. Sorry, it's like, oh, there we go. Enviable 17-year run in watching the studio growing from operating above the Mercedes-Benz dealership in Beverly Hills to being acquired by Disney and becoming the highest grossing franchise in history. Oh, this is just a bunch of crap about what she's done.
Yeah.
So
this is the saving PR statement to detract from the fact that they kicked her to the curb. She's fired. Here we have the human sacrifice for Marvel movie sucking.
Because Ant-Man had an ant-sized box office. That's why she's fucking fired.
Yeah, she's gone. This is the human sacrifice. She's the fall. I was about to say fall guy, but she's the fall guy X.
Fall gal.
For the bad box office. This is amazing news for Marvel going forward. And the reason
Where's Valiant and her Pro when you need them?
Yeah, because Cameron in his Patreon, he didn't say exactly this, but what he did point out was that the changes that Bob Chapek started to do to human resource management, basically the control of who gets fired and who doesn't, Bob Iger continued it. Iger continued what Chapek started. He continued to change the HR department and change the staffing there, bringing in people who appeared to be woke at first glance, that has all of the identity checkboxes in order. And then this happens. Yeah, this is fixing Marvel. This is them being able to point out that here is Marvel's problem. And they kicked her to the freaking curb, and rightfully so.
Like I said, last year's box office, and especially Ant-Man and Black Panther, I think, are the main reasons for this. But what it goes with is also what I was saying before, and that is Daddy Iger is telling them what they want to hear, but he's just going to turn around and do exactly what Chapek was going to do anyway. It's just okay now. They'll be more accepting of it, and you'll have less freakouts because, oh, Daddy Iger said it so. So, you know, as long as it's not that guy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm kind
of in shock right now.
Yeah, I'm in shock too. I did not see this coming. I mean, for the first time,
I mean,
they say shocker in the headline, and it's actually true.
I mean, I knew somebody was going to get sacrificed, but I cannot believe it was her.
I agree completely. I mean, the kind of performance that Marvel has had over the course of Phase 4 and now Phase 5, that requires human sacrifice, which is sometimes needed in the world of corporate politics. But I did not see that it was going to be Victoria Alonso.
Unless she got thrown completely under the bus, Andre. Like, let's say that fucking meeting that I proposed happened. And the Monday after Cocaine Bear opened, Kevin got called into the office and Bob's like, I got all this other shit going on right now. This is the last thing I fucking need on my plate. What the hell is going on? And how did we almost lose to a movie called Cocaine Bear? And he went, Vicky, it's all her.
Yeah.
She changed everything.
Must have been. But yeah, we have someone who can comment on the good news. Welcome, Mike, the Mexican Ironman.
I have had a rough weekend. As I don't know if Tom Andre shared with you what's been going on in my life. I've had a rough couple weeks, And
not really, because obviously we don't put personal stuff out.
Yeah,
there
I know we
that,
don't.
yeah.
Like that's
all right. Well,
that's between us until you say otherwise.
all right, but I'm just saying that, Andre, it's been a rough week or two, but I am here to celebrate the victory. And I am here since I'm a brown man, and I'm here to celebrate the termination of this Latinx hoe. You know what, Biatch? You can take your Wakanda forever. You can take what you did to my boy Neymar, and you can get them boots on and get to stepping.
These boots are made for walking, huh?
You know what? I'm even going to help her understand it. Someone hit the SAP button. Hit that little beep button. You have time. Hit the beep button.
All right.
Esas botellas están pa caminando y caminar es puede pesar y este es el momento en que tienes que pasar para allá. That was a Mexican Ironman.
And he says he can't sing. He is a liar.
Las botellas están listas para caminar. Ya es la hora en que tienes que caminar más para allá. There you go. I'm making shit up.
Nancy Sinatra has never sounded better.
Green Lion says, "Go, Mikey." Exactly.
You know what? I blame this hoe. I'm sorry, this 403. See, I'm gonna censor for YouTube. I blame this hoe.
Mike,
Wait,
go ahead. I want your uncensored feelings. Like, take us through what has this.
Here's what it is, Andre. I was despite being Mexican, Iron Man was one of only a couple Marvel characters I ever read as a comic book, and I'm a huge comic book guy. And if anyone doesn't believe it, I'm sitting here. I've got a spinner rack behind me, like locked and loaded here, as if it were a comic book store. I'm a comic book guy. That's what brought me to YouTube, and I was never the biggest Marvel guy. I grew up a DC guy. First, last, Green Lantern, Batman, yada, yada, yada. So, the fact that I happen to be Mexican Iron Man is kind of a fluke because Doctor Strange, Mexican Iron Man, that's pretty much where my interest in Marvel started stopped. But what happened? I get sucked in. I follow this ride. I get all excited in phase 1, all excited in phase 2. We all ride together in phase 3. And then we watch it crash and burn in phase 4 and 5 and have this Latinx woke hire Alonso, who I had to listen on the red carpet, speak Spanish so that white people couldn't understand. That pissed me off. And then you think her little Latinx, little woke, little feminist leftist, crazy sixth wave, I don't even know what wave of feminism we're on now, didn't have her pausing Wakanda forever. And you know what? She is a cultural appropriator, and I hold her as a cultural felon. She is not only guilty, but I know she aided and abetted in the cultural felony that was Wakanda Forever, because there's no way that movie didn't get out that door without her little wokey blessing. That's right. So on this day, in the middle of a day where I'm having an awful day, I've had an awful week, an awful weekend, and struggling to handle all kinds of stuff that's happening in my business and personal life, I say on this day, hail Midnight's Edge, hail this lady going out the door. And I'm not saying that Marvel's going to be fixed or Disney's ever going to be fixed, but all I'm saying is them boots are made for walking, and that's what he's going to do. And that hoe can walk right out that door, and I never want to see you. Okay. Hi, guys. Oh, shit. You had me like big this whole time. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh,
well, and we'll have to wait and see what kind of repercussions this have, and I can't wait to hear the reasons for this when we finally find out. But I got to imagine, Andre, you got a video already formulating and waiting in your head right now on this.
Oh yes. I mean, there's. I was wondering, what's the next video going to be? What's the next video going to be? I wonder. There's nothing new. And I'm like, oh, this. Okay, yeah, here's the next video.
Tom ain't sleeping tonight.
Well, we'll see. This might be one for Pablo, because Mondays are pretty packed tight for me. Canon Fellow Daryl, though, says this is for you, Mexican Iron Man, for the spontaneous singing because it made him smile.
Thank you.
Jim Watari also sends in a smiley face. I'm sure that's for you, Mikey. I'm sure it's too early in the day to ask you to drink, so he's just kindly sends in a smily face.
Good job, Jim. Nope, cannot drink. I'm in the work day.
He's in the work day. But wow, this is some really kind of shocking news. Like I said, I'm not totally shocked because I knew somebody was going to have to be a sacrificial lamb. I just never thought it'd be a Victoria Alonso, but Valiant is here, and he says, of course, he can't make it on the show today. He's in the office, but he says, Somebody had to answer for failures. And Feige has a lot more power than she does. Exactly, Valiant. And that's kind of what I was saying is he probably threw her ass under the bus. You know, I'm sure somebody asked whether it was Bob or somebody else. They're like, what was the reasoning for this direction? What is going on
here? We can replay that now. You be Bob Iger and I'll be Kevin Feige. Go. You call me into your office and ask me like what happened.
Kevin, I have a lot of shit to deal with today, okay, because of the stupid Florida problem. But the last thing I needed was a movie that was R-rated and called Cocaine Bear, almost beating our Marvel movie. What is wrong? What has happened? Why didn't Black Panther make any money either?
Okay, well, you know, Bob, notice that I'm using my beta simp voice. Well, Bob, you know, you've got me pulled in a lot of directions, and you know, I got to worry about merchandising and not, you know, the TV shows, and I'm doing my best to support your vision, Bob, of Disney Plus. And you know, we've got to put shows there, and you know, I can't keep my eyes on all of the prizes. And you know, look, Bob, between you and me, okay, you know, I thought Victoria had this. I mean, because Bob, you know, when I was at the helm before in phase 1, 2, 3, 4, for phase 3, like things were going great. And you know, Bob, I thought we could trust her, Bob. I thought we could, you know, we could take our eye out. You know, I thought she'd be okay. But you know, maybe she wasn't the right person really to get the same results. You know that, Bob. But, you know, because you know me, Bob, I support your vision. And that's why I'm going to make sure you have plenty of content for that Disney Plus.
I don't have time for this shit. Who is it?
Well, it's Victoria Alonso, but she's
gone. She's fired. Out.
All right. Well, Bob, if that's what you think is best, Bob, then you do what you've got to do, Bob.
Yes, that's pretty much how it went, I'm sure.
Andre, how do you like our reenactment? Andre's gone.
I think we put him to sleep.
No. You sounded more like Kevin Feige than Kevin Feige does. No, I was just up to this changing the thumbnail for this for this stream right here. Holy shit, this needs celebration.